So Guns N' Roses made an anti-war song? I did not know this. Now, I asked after the Roosters Alice in Chains video um to give me some of the greatest anti-war or war songs in your opinion, and I saw a lot. I saw a couple that I've already reacted to. Metallica 1, Alice in Chains, Roosters, War Pigs, Sabbath. And somebody was like, yo, Guns N' Roses got a good one, Civil War. I was like, what? Guns N' Roses made an anti-war song? So I had to hear it. Guns N' Roses, very fond of them. Axl Rose Slash, just a great band, man. And my last reaction to them, Paradise City, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I said I wasn't gonna take too long to react to them again. So we are back. Civil War. We have a visualizer, which I probably should just pull up the lyric video so I could look at the lyrics along, but we'll just roll with the visualizer. But Guns N' Roses, Civil War, let's go.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach. So you get what we had here last week, which is the way he wants it. Well, he gets it. I don't like it any more than you
do. Look at your young men fighting. Look at your women crying. Look at your young men dying, the way they've always done before. Look at the hate we're breeding. Look at the fear we're feeding. Look at the lives we're leading, the way we've always done before.
Real quick, at the beginning, that did not sound like Axl. I mean, from what I've heard of Axl and Guns N' Roses, in the beginning, that did not. I'm gonna assume that's close. No, I think I've heard Axl Rose. He has a very deep, voice when he's talking, like real. Like it's real low. So when the song first started, I thought it was somebody else, and then he hit. That's when I knew it was Axl. When he said, like when he did that, I was like, oh, that's Axl. But at the beginning, that did not sound like Axl. But Love the feel of it. Lyrics, everything that I can make out so far. Love it. The vibe. What Slash just did in the last 30 seconds. It wasn't really that was kind of a solo. But I'll assume there's a more grander solo as we get deeper into the song. But that little solo right there, that was dope. Good vibe. I'm liking it so far.
The man who said peace could last forever. And in my first memories, they shot Kennedy. I went numb when I learned to see. So I never fell for Vietnam. We got the wall of disease to remind us all that you can't trust freedom when it's not in your hands. When everybody's fighting for the promised land. And I don't need a civil war. It feeds the rich while it buries the poor. The power hungry selling soldiers in a human grocery store. Ain't that bread? I don't need a civil war. No. Look at the shoes you're filling. Look at the blood we're spilling. Look at the world we're killing. The way we've always done before. Look in the dark we followed. Look at the leaders we followed. Look at the lies we've swallowed. And I don't wanna hear no more.
Wait, before we get into this transition, that fry that Axel just did, it reminded me of the beginning of Welcome to the Jungle, where it's like, oh, like when he did, like that was crazy. Yo, listen, I've heard, again, I haven't seen any footage. I've just heard from word of mouth and in the comment section on a couple of videos, actually, that Axel vocally just isn't the same, which is really sad, man, because Axel, I think he's one of the best frontmen and just rock stars of all time. I think when you think about rock, Axl Rose is one of the names and faces that just instantly pops in your mind. So it's sad that people say that he doesn't perform and sing like he used to, but what a voice, man. And how the range of his voice. I mean, again, the way the song started to when it builds up, and then you hear songs like Sweet Child of Mine, and then you hit, like, he just has an incredible voice. So it really sucks that people say his voice is, not as pure and beautiful as it was before.
Create a vacuum, then we fill that vacuum. As popular war advances, the music grows. I don't need your civil war. It feeds the rich while it buries the poor. Power hungry, selling millions in a human grocery store. Ain't that rich? I don't need your civil war. No, 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 no. I don't need your civil war. I don't need your civil war. Your power hungry, selling soldiers in a human grocery store. Ain't that fresh? I don't need your civil war. No, 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 no. I know. I don't need one more war.
What's so civil about war anyway?
That's a beautiful line. What's so civil about war anyway? That's a great line. The last 30 seconds was unbelievable. And I don't think, out of all the songs, well, I'm talking like I've heard a bunch of songs, but in all the songs that I've heard from Guns N' Roses, I don't think I've ever heard a piano. Like, I would love, like, now I gotta do song research to see who was that on piano. Because that wasn't, like, it kind of caught me off guard because I really didn't hear it at first, and then I just kind of like stopped jamming for a second and just listened. I'm like, that's a freaking piano. And then they just started going crazy, like everybody, the drums, Slash, like everybody was just going crazy. That's a great song. Originally appeared on their compilation Nobody's Child, Romanian Angel Appeal, and later on the band's 1991 album Use Your Illusion 2. It is a protest song on war, referring to all war as civil war and stating that war only feeds the rich while it buries the poor. Excuse me. In the song, lead singer Axl Rose asks, "What's so civil about war anyway?" That's a great line. It's so true. Hard rock, progressive rock. Axl, Slash, and Duff have songwriting credit. This is their last single to be recorded with drummer Steven Adler. He departed the band several months after its recording and was replaced by Matt Sorum before the song was released as a single. That sucks. Oh wow, it didn't chart here in the States, but charted almost everywhere else. Okay, and this was, they said, first single? Which single did it say? It said it was the first single, right? What did I just... Tell me which single it was, please. Okay, hold on. Let me just click on this. Let me click on the album. Oh, it was their fourth single from the album. Okay, right. Okay. So, did Use Your Illusion 2 not do as well as Appetite for Destruction? I remember reading that Appetite of Destruction, it actually didn't do well initially. It actually sold like 15 to 20,000 copies because for one it was like multiple releases because the first real release of Appetite of Destruction had a crazy album cover where like a demon was jizzing on a kid or something crazy, and the label was like, come on y'all, we can't do that. And so they ended up doing what is now the Appetite of Destruction cover. I could be completely butchering the story, but the album cover that we all know and love now, and the cross with the skeleton heads, that's technically the second album cover. And that version only sold like 15 to 20,000. And then it wasn't until they went on tour that the album became what it was. But I said all that to say, did Use Your Illusion not do well? Because the fourth single, it didn't even chart here in the US. But I would think by this point, you know what? That's the question for today. Kind of my study, and just to get a grasp on things. If y'all don't mind, and it's only if you want to, of course. For each decade, and we're going to do it, I was going to do decades, like 60s, 70s, 80s, but like, let's do 5-year periods. So, and we're going to start from the 60s, okay? So, who was the best band from 60 to 65? Now, from what I can assume, from all my little bit of research and just, everything, I'm going to assume the Beatles dominated the 60s. That's what I'm going to assume, right? But y'all let me know, what was the best band between 1960 to 1965, and then from 65 to 70? And then just keep going. What was the best for band from 70 to 75, 75 to 80, 80 to 85, 85, 90, 90, 95, and then 95 to the 2000s. We'll stop at the 2000s. Again, I'm going to assume the Beatles dominated the 60s. I'm going to assume Zeppelin dominated the 70s. But it seemed like the 80s was like, just from the bands that I reacted to, you got Guns N' Roses, you got Scorpion, you got Def Leppard, you got Journey, you got, you know what I mean? It's just so many bands. It seemed like the 80s was like, just, you know what I mean? Like, it seemed like it was so I just want to know, what was the, and it can only be one. Give me one band for each 5-year period. What was the best band from 70 to 75, from 75 to 80, from 85 to 90? Like, I'm very intrigued to know, because like when I see this research, right? Based off of research, right? It would have me think that AC/DC dominated the 80s, right? You got Back in Black, one of the best-selling rock albums ever, right? You would think AC/DC was the biggest band. But then you just look at, they still selling, like, I would love to, I think I had a Guns N' Roses shirt. And this is way before I was aware of the band and the history and everything. But it like, you can't go anywhere without somebody having something of Guns N' Roses. I'm just very intrigued to know who was really on top in each respective decade. I'm just very I just, from people who lived it and saw it in real time, instead of me doing research and reading it from a book or reading it from, I want to know from people who really, and of course, everybody's answer is going to be different based off of your preference. But like, try to be as objective as you possibly can. Like, when you were in high school in the 80s, who was everybody in school talking about? Right? Who was the, when you were in the 70s, a young adult, what was the best ticket to get? Such and such is coming to town, and everybody was trying to get a ticket. Who was it? You know what I mean? Like, get, like, really frame it for me, because when I read this stuff, again, it just makes me feel like everybody was just the, but I really want to know who was numero uno in each respective decade. That's my question for the day. Y'all let me know. But to the song Civil War, amazing. Love this song. I love how unique it was. The composition, Axel's vocals, amazing. Drumming from Steven. Sadly, the last song that Steven ever recorded, he did incredible. Slash, of course, just phenomenal work. Phenomenal work all the way around. Don't have a single negative critique of this song at all. Absolutely amazing. But y'all let me know how y'all felt about it. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, with Guns N' Roses. Peace.